Hey guys, in this video we will be covering licensing, in particular M365 Copilot and Copilot Studio licensing. This is quite a tricky topic, but let's just dive into this by defining two users. And I've got a lot of questions lately about what the different two users have access to. In our case, one user has no M365 Copilot license, and the second user over here has M365 Copilot license. So how do they get metered? What do they pay, and what do they get for free through the license? This is a question that I get in every single governance session I've had. This is a topic that is quite misunderstood. So let's just look at what the user without the license can do and what is free for them. So basically, this user, almost all interactions with the agent created in Copilot Studio will be metered, except web grounded answers, same as in Copilot chat. So what happens to this user is that they have to pay through the metered system, which is either you set up pay as you go or capacity packs. We will jump into these two types of licenses. These are the licensing for either Copilot chat, where you set up the pay as you go, or Copilot Studio, where you set up pay as you go environment. And then we have the capacity pack, which is a message pack, which we for Copilot Studio. For the On the other hand, you do have some of the things that are included in M365 Copilot. These are the agent actions. An agent action, we can look at this in another video what it is. Graph grounded answers, and these are the answers that come from SharePoint, OneDrive, technically answers that come from your graph tenant boundary, which we've covered in the Copilot control system or the Copilot connectors video. And then you have the generative answers, where the agent either uses internal knowledge, uses Dataverse, or some files you have uploaded. This will usually use two messages. And then you have the classic answers, which uses one message, and this is included for this user. But here is the catch: when the agent is published to M365 Experience, this means that this agent is either published in M365 Copilot, Teams, or SharePoint. Once you start publishing to other channels, then this user has to pay as the user on the other side here. I hope this made it a little bit clear, but let's just jump into the included things for the different licenses. So as you can see here, you have unlimited messages for the M365 Copilot user license, which is $30 per user a month. And you can create and publish your own agents anywhere. That's not true. It's only available to publish in the M365 experience. And this is already explained. You can use the Power Platform connectors. You have Dataverse for Copilot Studio, managed environments, premium and custom Power Platform connectors. And you do also have Power Automate Cloud Flows within the context of Copilot Studio agents. This can be discussed because this is the actions, but you still have to pay for the agent flows, which come outside of the actions. And then we have Copilot that is published to M365. So when you have pay as you go, most of this is quite the same, but the biggest difference here is you can publish to any channel, which is internal and external. I have a video where I publish to my own web app, and this gives you access. Then every user has to pay, and this is usually for external and other internal channels. The capacity pack gives you 25,000 messages per capacity pack and costs $200. So this is also relevant for Copilot chat agents. But if we look at it, this is the way if you don't have pay as you go for Copilot Studio, which I will quickly show you how to set up, then you have to either have the capacity pack, or all your users need M365 Copilot license and only use this free stuff here. But that's it for the differences between these three licenses. And the last one is if you set up an agent using the M365 SDK, agents SDK, for example, then you will be paying for the tokens in Azure and the rest of the things that are outside of Copilot and Power Platform. So how much do you pay? That's the thing. So if we go back here, one message with pay as you go is 0.01 dollars. And so depending on the mode of the agent. So if the agent is classic, you do, and generative, then there is different, not very different, but I would say then the users have to usually pay for everything if you deploy the agents to other channels. But classic and generative used to be before. I know this creates some confusion, but now there is not that much difference, which we will look at here now. You have the M365 Copilot users. They have the web grounded answers included. They have the classic answers. This is the when the agent or the bot says hi to you. This is a classic answer. And then you have the generative answers. These are based on from the knowledge sources and tenant graph grounding, and also agent actions. From there, you do have to pay for the rest. So every single scenario has to pay for the text and generative AI tools. So these are the different models which have basic, standard, and premium. This we will look at too in the agent estimator calculator. And then you have the content processing tools. These are the pre-built, mostly the pre-built AI builder tools. And then you have the agent flow actions. So these are charged per action, but also you will see that when you create very complex agent flows, each action then will be charged per 100 actions. So if you have 100 flow actions, you will pay 13 messages for each of the scenarios. And same here, if you use the tool, the AI prompt, which is pre-built, or this is very well described in the Copilot Studio, Copilot Studio, Copilot Studio guide, licensing guide. And from there, this will be for the rest of the AI builder tools or the AI prompts. And for the AI agent actions, it's 5 messages per action, and then you have the tenant graph grounding messages. This is 10 message. So if you don't have the license, M365 Copilot license, you pay 10 messages to get an answer from SharePoint. On top of that, we use generative answers to actually get this from SharePoint. So that is 12 messages in total. So you get these two together for a query towards SharePoint or OneDrive. So hope this explains a little bit how this works. And if this doesn't do that, what I recommend is that you go to the Copilot Studio Agent Usage Estimator, and let's jump into this. The usage estimator, if you don't want to look for it, you can just go to Copilot Studio Home and usually down here. And once you get to the usage estimator, you can estimate based on common telemetry or based manual entities. So let's say we have 500 users and they will be accessing the agent 20 times per month. You get the number here. This is a total of estimated usage based on common telemetry and data assumptions. So quickly, it's an employee facing agent. My users do have, so this is important. How many users have the license? So watch the number here. If half of my users have the license, 250, then we get almost half of the, let's see, 50. Then we get half of the total messages. So half of the users will be using it for free. But what is free? Let's look at this generative. So now everything is generatively orchestrated. The number went up. And now we need to add some knowledge. What percentage is from knowledge? With knowledge, we mean that you kind of use what do I say? We use the uploaded documents or Dataverse. Let's say it's 30%, and the rest is from SharePoint. Again, the number changes because my users who have this will also get them for free. And I will not go deeper into the actions and topics, but try this out. If you have autonomous triggers, use these too. And this is important because this is where you add the different AI models that you have. And if you're using, let's say I have a premium GPT-5 premium here, and I have one prompt, which will be called like 100 times, you will see the calculation here. Premium GPT-01 which gives me 7,000 messages. So in total, this is what I will be paying. And this is what I recommend you do, and use this to actually calculate the numbers and get a total estimated messages for your agents before deploying them. So where do I find the usage? Okay, this is usually in the Power Platform Admin Center. In the Power Platform Admin Center, you have the Copilot licensing on the left and Copilot Studio. In here, you can manage billing plans, you can manage messages, and you can manage sessions. And let's see, Copilot Studio, yeah, manage sessions. From there, you can also see the total number of messages you have, the assigned messages, and the consumed. But what I like to do is usually go into the environments, and let's take, for example, my production environments here. So this is where I do most of my testing and development, and you can see here that I have prepaid messages that have been used. But the most important thing is here, because I've been using an agent which I just created to test different AI prompts from connected to Azure AI Foundry models. And as you can see here, there are some build messages. For the M365 Copilot licensed users, you will see non-build messages here. And let's see, if I want to see July. I don't have in this tenant. I don't have a license, so I cannot see the non-build here. Everything I do is build. So that's where you can find the messages, and you can also manage the messages for environments here, and you can manage what happens when you reach overage. So you either draw from your available capacity, or you build to let's see here, to a already existing pay as you go. So, and if you want a notification before the messages are used up, that's where you do it. And let's see, in the summary, you do have manage sessions, and you do have manage messages here. You can manage messages for each environment. And if you have the capacity pack, you can divide them up into the different environments. If you want to create a new billing plan, you can do it from here. You can create an Azure subscription and connect it to choose Copilot Studio here and connect it to some environment. So let me see here, test events grid, and this is it. Let's see there. And next, then you can choose the region. And I don't have, yeah, all of my in the United States here. And I choose production environment, save, and this will be saved. So what you need is an Azure subscription. You need a resource group, and then you can connect the billing plan to the environments that you need to connect them to. For capacity packs, this can be bought in the M365 admin center, where you just go to your products, let's see, and buy the license. This we can cover in depth in another video, but for now we have covered a couple of things, and the last thing I want to cover is overage. So most of my customers are asking me why their agents don't stop, or their environments don't stop at 100% usage. It's because the overage enforcement is triggered at 125% of the prepaid capacity. So make sure that you set up this alerts and you get the notifications, and make sure that you don't get caught up in the over usage, which is 125%. So let's see, we have covered the where do I find usage. This is the Power Platform Admin Center. You can use the Copilot Studio Agent Consumption Estimator. We know now the difference between the M365 Copilot users, Copilot chat users, and the different pay as you go and message packs, and what they give you in terms of value and what you can use them to. And these are the two users, back to them. What I usually recommend for the users who have the M365 Copilot license is build as much as you can through the graph ground answers. Use the SharePoint. Use enhanced search, which will give you answers from your semantically indexed graph content, and this gives you very good answers. Also, use agent actions and generative, what do I say, classic answers. If you stay within this, you can create a lot of good agents. For the users without the license, I recommend that you get the license. No, I'm just kidding. But next time we will go in depth into how to acquire the license and set up Copilot Studio Chat. Thank you.